Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to PSGL. George Morgan here, your commentator, alongside me, TK, who is going to be rounding off the season with me.
Down the inside,
Absolutely impossible scene.
This is for the win between these two.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
He needs to get it done now.
Blakey will dive to the inside.
We're robust. We got our elbows out.
Ronar takes the lead.
Because here comes Alfie Butcher.
Can't really complain with that one.
It's not going to be easy. The pressure is on, of course.
Yarda Watmere is your champion.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to PSGL F5 on the PC. And it is technically round 2, but it's officially, well, actually it's technically round 2, officially round 1, as we did take a bit of a rescheduling break for the British Grand Prix, and now we are getting ready for Shanghai, China. My name is Patrick Coleman, and alongside me tonight is the absolutely fantastic Rio Harris. Rio, how you doing today, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. I've been out and about today. I've been getting new equipment, which I really might consider. So, I'm quite well, thank you. I'm ready to hopefully have a proper race this time. Let's hope that number of members gain proves to be another reschedule. But hopefully everything does go okay on this occasion. I've got confidence, and I mean, like you said, Shanghai. We're here at Shanghai. It never disappoints whatsoever, does it?
Oh, never. Let's go ahead and just bring up the track as the drivers are getting ready to jump into qualifying. So here is Shanghai, a 5.4 kilometer long circuit, 3.3 miles, and it is a track known for very good energy management but very high tire degradation. So drivers will have a dual front battle here as we get ready to go racing here very, very shortly. And you know what? I say, let's just go ahead and just jump straight to trackside here very shortly. What do you say? I say, we don't wait any further. I say, we just jump straight on into it. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into quality. It's just shy of a full lobby here today, as one of the Alpines will be the first cars on the track, and it'll be Zozo becoming the first car on the track here today. So here we go. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic one here. And, okay, there we go. I was just doing a quick little check. Nothing to worry about, but we are here. So, Rio, what are your thoughts on this fantastic circuit here in Shanghai?
Well, in these cars, a lot more enjoyable because you actually have grip in these cars because of that. Obviously, like you said as well, the battery management is a lot more nicer in comparison to when we raced in Silverstone last week, although it wasn't an official race after we had to reschedule it. Silverstone, you have to LICO absolutely everywhere. You still have to do the lifting coasting around Shanghai, but it's a lot more nice in comparison to the other circuits. I mean, examples being in towards the snail section in sector 1, like turn 1, you can get everything around like 70% battery, so you've always got the chance to gain battery. You've always got the chance to attack. It's just going to be how much battery do you use down this long back straight towards, I believe, turn 14 at the hairpin. It's going to this will be probably your favourite overtaking spot, where it's shadow of a doubt, maybe into turn 1. You can see some moving towards the hairpin at turn number 6 at the beginning of the middle sector. But I mean, like you said, Shanghai, it's so good for battery, where it can hopefully then promise good racing as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun here. And obviously you have that massive straight right towards the back half of the track, just before the final 2 corners. And you'll probably see some pass and repass right along there. But here we go. Zozo will be the first car to go ahead and set a lap, getting as close to our beautiful PSGL barriers, courtesy of JM Designs. And he's a little bit onto the grass, coming through what I like to call the pinwheel. And I think he's already backed well out of that one. So he'll go ahead and retry and give it a go. Let's go ahead and jump aboard with another driver with the FST tag, Rodrigo Spiga, who's also currently on a lap. So now he took the pinwheel a bit smoother, but now he's making his way through Sector 1 into that tight hairpin, just throwing that W17 into the corner. He will have to get past some slower moving traffic, but they'll be of no concern to the Merc. and we'll see what he can do on this initial lap. Very smooth so far, and you can see he is absolutely just sending that Mercedes around, having to fight the car a little bit, so maybe facing a little bit of rear instability as he makes his way into, oh, he gets a little bit over there, and that's a lap invalidated. It was looking strong, but unfortunately, track limits grab another victim.
Well, I think Zozo's actually still on his lap. I think Zozo's almost used all his battery, so making his way towards turn 14 is the Alpine driver. Towards the end of the lap goes Zozo, locking up momentarily as he rotates it through the hairpin, making his way towards the final corner does the Alpine driver. What will the benchmark be by Zozo? Through the final corner we go, crossing the line. The Alpine will set a 1 minute 30.992, and it's over to the rest to see what else we can see. I think it'll be Thomas Balser up next as Thomas comes across the line and goes 7/10 away. Scarlet Ferrari up next, I believe, of Giovanni Baruzza, goes to 31.636, and then we have more cars coming over the line. Next, Alpine over the line. Marvin Gold makes it an Alpine 1-2. Mercedes up next of, I believe, Federico Spiga, actually, I think, invalidated on their time as they make their way towards the line. An Audi coming over the line. Tom 97 slots into 4th position. Over the line we go as Formula Kai to the front row originally. Racing Bulls of South Row Meadow then goes to the front row. Muta beginning a lap. Then the Haas of Yaro Van Houtkem goes up into 5th position. Then over to the Williams. Up will be Noel Gestreen to go up onto the front row. And then the other Williams crossing the line goes up into 8th. Then there'll be the Aston Martin of Blow to go up into 6th position. Then it will be the other Mercedes, I believe, of Karafalidis, who comes across the line, goes up into 7th position. And then the other next Aston Martin coming across the line. Where can Yellow go? Yellow to the front row.
A lot of cars coming across in a mad flurry here as qualifying continues. There is a Cadillac that's about to start a lap, and that is the man simply known as Kart. We're going to see what he can do here as he begins his lap in the Cadillac. The Mac 26 going ahead and jumping in, and we'll see what he can do here. Make his way through the snail, through the pinwheel, whichever terminology you like to use, as he cuts his way on through. We'll see what the Cadillac can do. Actually, I think he might be on a double out lap here. We'll see if the... Okay, so he is going to go ahead and burn some of the battery. He just opts to save it all the way through. But like you said, Rio, that is one of the best recharging spots on the racetrack. And oh, he just runs a bit wide there, so that is surely going to be a reset from the Cadillac. We do have Muta Haidari going to be the next driver to cross the line. It's going to be looking like a pretty decent lap time here. Won't be troubling the front, but it's still very early on in the session. Good enough for P19 at the moment, but there's still a little over 10 minutes left to go in the session. So we'll see who's going to be on a lap. It won't be Tom 97. He'll be coming back into the pits. He did invalidate, I think, through the last corner. But so far, Zozo currently the cost of the field right now, Rio.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the only drivers at 1 minute 30s. He's what? 3/10 of a second clear? And the rest of the field, like you see, they've got like drivers like Louis Welch, Santa Maria, Axel, Yellow. They're all within a 1/10 of a second of each other. But then you got Zozo, who's just completely blitzed the field in the opening runs, at least in qualifying. We've still got, I presume, 2 more laps to go. As I say, that believe with Scarlet Ferrari or maybe Giovanni Baruzza making their way towards the end of the pit lane. But yeah, just a couple drivers are just in the garage. So I believe Willow is pushing on their lap towards the end of the first sector. We go in the Red Bull, one of 3 drivers yet to have a lap time on the board at the end of the first sector, 24.099 for the Red Bull, before we go towards the heart of the lap, towards the most technical section in the Chinese Shanghai International Circuit. Rotate it through the long sweeping left-hander before you have to chuck it right, where, remember back to the sprint race in 2024 in F1, we had the likes of Sainz and Fernando Alonso doing battle. Rotate it through the double left-hander before you make your way towards the end of the middle sector, before the final sector. End of the middle sector, it's going to be in the 1 minute 51, not 1 minute 51.915. Then you make our way round the long. It seems like never-ending right hand here. It's arguably the most important corner on the circuit, and then they make their way down the long back straight towards the hairpin. IRT Willow hoping to set a time at least into the top 10, but it's so close in the field. You could set a line for P11, but then only be a 10th away from setting a time for P7. It's so close here in F5. We're approaching the halfway mark in the session as well. Towards the final corner of turn 16 we go, and the Red Bull will sling it through the final corner, and towards the line we go, but
Ooh.
invalidates their time at the final corner. The lap would have been a 31.893. It would have been only good enough for P19.
That is just absolutely heartbreaking. And that's the thing about this track too. It's so crucial to get a good qualifying lap around here. Granted, there are some really good overtaking spots like we talked about in the build-up. But, I mean, the better you qualify, the better your day is likely going to be. And there's so many spots to grab those invalidations. And we're probably going to see a handful of track limit violations throughout the day as well. So, curious to see how that goes. Giovanni Baruzza is going to go ahead and start the lap. Giovanni Baruzza going to go ahead and make his way through the pinwheel. And it's very nice to see just the different strategies as well. I mean, I know people do complain about the battery. I myself had some complaints about it when I was first learning DRS management. I'm not saying I have a PhD in management. I certainly don't. But it's interesting seeing the different strategies as well, because the press of that boost button could mean the difference between P17 and P1. And I mean, it's so crucial. Luckily, unlike some of the other tracks we will head to this season, we'll talk about the calendar later on in the broadcast, but this is actually probably one of the most energy-friendly tracks. The original season opener for F5, Silverstone, oh, that track is rough for energy management. It is so tricky that some of the faster corners really just become recharge zones. This corner right here, this corner that you were talking about just before the backstretch, Rio, it is pretty much a crucial corner for management. You burn it too early, you kind of find yourself running out of battery about halfway down the Shanghai Straight. So you just really got to be careful on the management, especially through Sector 2. It's a good spot to recharge, and I thought we were going to see a little bit of a tow but with the Mercedes. But Giovanni Baruzza, oh, a bit of a snap on corner exit. Will that be an improvement? It'll be up by 0.2 of a second, and good enough for PA, and they spin it to the wall, and that is Giovanni Baruzza out of qualifying. What heartbreak for the Tifosi. That was not on my bingo card heading in today.
It's something I didn't really expect. So up next, Aldi's coming over. I think that was Tom 97 that was coming over. No way, this is Louis Welch, I believe, to begin a lap. We've got drivers just beginning their laps. We've got Blode, I believe, coming around the final corner as yellow. As you know, it's yellow to begin a lap here in this qualifying session. That's Robin Langenbush as well to begin another lap in this qualifying session. I believe the rest of the drivers you're seeing in the final sector are about to start laps, apart from the McLaren, maybe, of Musa. They're about to begin the lap as well. Everyone beginning their flying laps here. Zozo at the end of the first sector was 24 milliseconds up. We have the Alpine of Marvin Golm making their way into the pit lane, bailing out of that particular lap time. Formula Kai over the line, cannot improve and validate on their time. The Williams up next of Joel Gestrine goes to the front row as a 31.218. Tom 97 goes up at the 6th. Blode goes to the front row. The Racing Bulls up next of Salvador Meadow is the next one to take the front row position. Drivers just instantly jumping up the order, then to the Casper over the line. Where can the Williams go? Invalidation on their lap time. It would have been a 31.354. It would have been good enough to slot themselves into the top 10. But the man who's currently sat on provisional pole position by near on the 10th of a second. Round the final corner towards the line we go. FSD Zozo crossing the line now to extend his margin ahead of the rest at 99 milliseconds. The Mercedes are up next over the line. Panas Karafilidis comes over the line with a 31.259. We've got more drivers making their way towards the end of the lap as well. Santa Maria and their in lap, I believe that's a Audi, maybe of Louis Welch. Up next, Louis Welch around the final corner. Can Louis Welch storm to the top of the time page? Crossing the line now. Can go to 4th position. Up next is the Cadillac coming over the line. I think that was Carp, who was actually beginning another lap here in qualifying. Yellow crosses the line to go up into 5th position. Up next we have the Mercedes, I believe, of Federico Spiga, who's coming across the line now, not improving on their lap time. A Red Bull up next over the line. Robin Langenbush goes up into the top 5. Up next is going to be, I believe, a Haas, but they're peeling into the pit lane. And Zozo extends his margin ahead of the rest, Patrick.
Yeah, that was a really good lap. Even though it was such a marginal gain, I mean, this is a sport of milliseconds. Right, in F1, it's always just down to the finest minute detail, the finest minute millisecond, and that pretty much just sums up everything. You're off by a millisecond. I mean, those 17 hundredths of a second could literally be the difference between P1 and P9. That's just how crazy qualifying is here at PSGL. top of the line competition here in F5. We're going to see if this track hits like an F5 Hurricane. And so far, the qualifying is looking very promising. Almost the entirety of the field that has set a lap time is currently almost within a second of each other. Haidari, is going to go ahead and continue to push on through the heart of the track, the heart of Shanghai. And if I do mispronounce any of the drivers' names, if the drivers want to send me a DM on Discord of Rekus GG and give me a proper pronunciation, well, thank you guys so much. It'll be greatly appreciated, and I'll try not to butcher the names in the future. But right now, Muda is not butchering his quality lap in the slightest. Coming around here, he's got a lot of battery to come onto the Shanghai back straight. And this is going to be a good run here. Coming down to the line, we'll see what he can do coming into the penultimate corner on the Shanghai International Circuit. Muta Haidari going to see if they can improve now. Coming up to the line. And here we go. It's going to be another straight mode here very soon. And we're not going to find out because it is straight to the pits and a bit deep into the pit. Almost like Lewis Hamilton in 2007, I want to say.
Yeah, it was. Amongst all of that, Federico Spiga is now an FST 1-2 on the grid at the minute. Federico Spiga found a lap time out of absolutely nowhere when you was watching over the McLaren driver Muta Haidari. So Spiga's got to race to the pit lane now. Salva and Meadows come out of the pit lane early, hoping to avoid that lap traffic. But I mean, depending on when you start your lap, you could have drivers coming out with like 1 minute 50 to go here. Federico Spiga's also going to be racing back to the pit lane. He needs to hope that when he comes in, Carafalidis isn't coming out. So if I have a look at the Mercedes garage, there's no movement in the Mercedes garage as of, I only see a couple of hands who are typing along. But and the runs that are up next, it will be Salva and Meadow up first. Then it will be Kart, who is one driver who's yet to set a time in this qualifying session. Then it'll be Ivan Santa Maria. Then it will be the Audi of Tom 97. Now coming out of the pit lane comes the Alpine, and then I believe a Haas and a Cadillac coming towards pit exit here. It's going to be a close end to qualifying here. It's going to be so open because you've got the top four near on separated by around a tenth of a second.
Yeah, we're seeing some ludicrously crazy laps here. I mean, these are laps that, like, even the current slowest lap time held by Muta Haidari, I'd be lucky if I could get within a second of that time, and that's P19. It just shows the absolute level of talent that is here in PSGL in F5. F5 making a comeback here for season 43. As we get ready to go here, Salva Olmedo gonna go ahead and begin the lap. Coming through very nicely, and we are in rush hour in the final stages of quality, the final 2 minutes. It's gonna get hectic. It's gonna become like highway traffic here, and this is a bit risky, Rio. He's doing a secondary outlap. So that's something you do see from time to time, but it is not very common. So I wonder if any other drivers are going to go ahead and employ that strategy. I mean, with 2 minutes left to go, it's a bold strategy, but boldness wins races and it tops timing tables. So I'm going to trust the process on this one. We're going to see, is anybody on a flyer? I think the other V-Carb is, yep. The other V-Carb of Ivan Santamaria is going to go ahead and go. And then the Ferrari down to P22 has yet to set a lap time. And he will actually retire, so he'll start from the back of the grid. As we go on here, as Ivan Santamaria is going to go ahead and continue coming through the hairpin. Improvement in the first sector. So we might see the V-Carb join his teammate as he goes ahead and just flies around here. We're going to just see how these drivers go ahead and manage. And this is going to be a good, fantastic run here. Coming in through beginning sector 3. We'll see what the time split is for Ivan Santamaria. 3/10. So that's huge. That's pole time right there. If he can make this stick, Ivan Santamaria might be able to snag pole here. Got a good amount of energy burning it through. Actually, the second half of that almost eternal right-hander. But he's going to run out of battery before the straight is even done. So this might compromise him because you can get up to about 340 kilometers an hour. But it might compromise a bit. He's going to be good on the brakes. He'll get a good amount of recharge I wonder if that little bit of extra burn is going to cost him as he's going to get ready to cross the line. It's coming through. This is going to be a striking lap. Can he strike the pole? Yes, he does by 41 milliseconds on the clock. But a lot of drivers are ready to respond.
Yeah, car's coming along with 31.6. He's going to end with P18 on the grid. Next up is the Audi, I believe, of maybe Tom at 97.
Oh, he's going backwards.
Tom 97 has actually spun at the final corner, so he was now up over the line. We cross the line with Thomas Balso, who goes up into P15. Over the line is the Alpine of Santa Maria. Sorry, Tom 97. Tom 97 has been disqualified. Holy moly, Louis Welch has got up into P4, and Formula Kai goes up into P7. Up next is the Alpine. Crossing the line now, Zozo cannot dislodge even Santa Maria. So the man who looked dominant in qualifying will not be taking pole. Yellow crossing the line now can only go 8th position. Over to, I believe, Yaro Van Halcom, who's making his way around the final corner. Where can Yaro go? The Williams behind, getting a nice toe. Crossing the line is Yaro. Crossing the line with the Williams doesn't improve. The Red Bull up next of either Robin Langenbush. No, it's Willow. Goes up into 19th. McLaren peels into the pit lane. The Aston Martin up next of Blode, who will be looking to blow to pole position. Can only go 6 fastest with an invalidated lap time. Over to Federico Spiga. Down by a 10th and a half, along with Panos Karafalidis, who's making his way around the final corner. Where can Karafalidis go? Crossing the line. Can the Mercedes roar to the top? Crossing the line can only go 11th position. Then what about Robin Langenbush crossing the line? Can't go any higher. Over the line we go as the Mercedes of Federico Spiga. Spiga doesn't improve. Salvador Meadow not improving as well. I believe that's qualifying done and dusted unless Axel can do anything about it. I don't think he's pushing on. It's even Santa Maria on pole position ahead of FSD Zozo and FSD's Federico Spiga. Louis Welch lines up in 4th, Salvador Meadow in 5th, and probably one of the major shocks there. Tom 97 got disqualified there.
And yeah, that'll actually put him behind Alarms, who didn't even set a lap time because he spun out, just couldn't get that Audi corrected. So Ivan Santa Maria is going to go ahead and take pole position ahead of Zozo, Federico Spiga, Louis Welch, Salva Omedo, Blode, Formula Kai, Geno, Robin Lagenbush, and then Marvin Golm, Panos, and then Noel, Axel, Giovanni Baruzza, who did have that crash in qualifying, still qualifies into 14th. And then we have Yaro, Thomas Balser, Casper, Cart, Willow, Muta, and then Alarms and Tom, who got hit with that DSQ for facing in the wrong direction. So a very interesting qualifying here, Rio. Some pretty big shocks there.
Yeah, oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I was highly expecting Zozo to get pole. I mean, he had the original pole after the first runs by what, half a tenth, not half a tenth, sorry, 3/10 of a second, and then had still pole by around a tenth, but then just couldn't find the lap time in the final runs. It's the Spanish driver Santa Maria who will line up on pole, like you mentioned. It's going to be interesting to see the different strategies here. How many hard to mediums will we see in comparison to medium hards? It will be a game of strategy here. It will all depend on it depends on who has the most race pace. I believe if doing hard medium, I think it will be the preferred strategy. Whoever has the most race pace on the hard tire, mainly because the hard tire is the better tire, of course, but it's not the nicest one to fire up as such. But I mean, it will be interesting to see. And the reason Tom 97 got disqualified, it was quite a funny way. He spun at the final corner and he was driving backwards on the circuit into the pit lane.
I mean, that's one way to do it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody toe Mater it into the pit lane, but you know, there's a first for everything. I've seen overtakes in the pit lane. I've seen somebody actually flip coming into pit lane once. That was a very crazy Australian League race that I have seen. But I mean, you know, everything in Australia, you know how it is. I mean, it's the land down under, so you know, everything does get kind of flipped around from time to time. Right, we are still waiting for the drivers to go ahead and set up their strategies and such. So I think strategy is going to be a pretty massive part. You're thinking 2-stop, Rio? Because I'm thinking 2-stop.
I'm not at all. I reckon it'll be a plain easy 1-stop, I reckon. I mean, if it was it depends, because I mean, the circuits like Zandvoort where the tyre wear is unbelievable. Like, it's still high, but I reckon the 1-stop will always be the preferred strategy. And I think if you do a 2-stop, you have to have such a clear advantage in race pace. You obviously have the more pace because you're having fresher tyres. Then when drivers box their one stop, they all have that slight period where they're managing, but they'll be slightly quicker and such. It will all depend on race pace. As a matter of fact, it will all depend on who has the higher quality in terms of racing IQ as well. I look on Race Director, there's a lot of medium tyres.
Yeah, a lot of medium tires being used here. Mediums are usually the pretty popular choice for the race starts here in Shanghai. Soft tires. Say that one more time.
Maybe they can't hear me in the chat. Suboptimal.
Okay, that is weird. I don't know how we. Try again.
Hello.
It's picking up on OBS, so that is interesting. Oh, it's your volume.
It's on the Mac. It's on the Max, mate.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do some shenanigans behind the scenes. Go ahead and try that. Try again, Rio.
Hello.
A little bit more. Let's try that now.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I think we should be gravy now. It's actually apparently you have the wrong input settings, is what I'm seeing now from chat.
Input settings? What do you mean wrong input settings? I'm now curious.
It's what Richie is saying, so I plead innocence in this one. Because I can hear you. I can hear you quite fine. Okay, maybe so mine or his? Because if it's mine, then that might check out. I am on a slightly older headset.
I don't know what to do then if it's Paul.
All right. Well, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and
take it away.
we're gonna go ahead and jump straight to the track as the 5 rights go out, and it's rights out, and away we go. Here at Shanghai, Ivan Santamaria is gonna go to get a start, but he's pushing Zozo right to the edge of the racetrack as they come through the pinwheel. And this is gonna be a very good battle, very good scrap, a little bit of contact in the opening stages. And we're seeing a lot of pushing here. A lot of drivers absolutely just going full speed, full tilt as they make their way through the first sector of the Shanghai International Circuit. And it's going to be a potential lunge here from Zozo, trying to maybe stick it around the outside of the turn 6 hairpin. Oh, and a spin. There's a spin in the back. And that is going to be a few cars brought up into the mix. And that is Giovanni Baruzza, who's been involved in that one. Noel G-String is going to go ahead and have that spin as well. A few drivers getting a little bit lopsided on the opening stages. The gaps still remain really, really close. Ivan Santamaria still holding the lead for the Visa Cash Up Racing Bulls team. The Alpine just behind, looking for any sort of progress. Some good battling here. Going to go ahead and tuck right on in. And then we're going to see he's going to go ahead and just start boosting right now. He won't have the overtake just yet. It'll be on the next lap as they go through. And here we go. He's going to go for the move. Going to go for the lunge. Is he going to go ahead and make the move stick? And Zozo does make the move. Does it stick? It's one thing to pass, another thing to make it stick. But Ivan Santamaria does have Federico Spiga on the inside. He's shaping up for a move. And that is a chaotic first lap. But lap 1 out of 28 in the books here, Rio.
Yeah, about a good start from Zozo, the man who I expect to be on pole position now into the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Louis Welch looking on the rear as well. Federico Spiga was trying to challenge Santa Maria in towards the opening corners of the racetrack. Langenbush as well getting close to the rear of Formula Kai as we go through the snail section and apply the power. Formula Kai getting close to the rear as they make their way down towards turn number 6. Yellow flags behind for the Scarlet Ferrari. Giovanni Baruzza has spun around on the exit, I believe, with turn number 2. Go through the hairpin. Marvin Gong thinking of a move on the inside of Axel in the hairpin on this occasion. No, not close enough. Could have been bad, but ended up fine. Through the heart of the middle sector we go. And Federico Spiga staying close to the rear of even Santa Maria. Make our way towards the end of that middle sector now. They will all stay line astern. The only place you'd expect to change of position is either into turn 1 or either into turn 14. Turn 14. Because that's where you have the most chance to use the battery. Go through the twist in the turn for the most important corner on the circuit. The long aging right-hander. FSD Zozo, though, starting to pull out a bit of a gap, half a second as they make their way down that back straight towards the hairpin.
Yeah, but Ivan Santamaria is going to have that overtake boost, that little extra mushroom of ERS power, as some of the Formula 1 drivers have coined it. But I mean, if you're Ivan Santamaria, you got to be real careful of Federico Spiga, who's going to go in and do whatever he can to hold the position and try to gain a position on top of it. Lewis Welch, though, just behind. He's going to try to make something happen here. As Blode also not too far behind. So like you said, they're pretty much in this beautiful carbon fiber conga line as they make their way through, just going in, snaking around the pinwheel sector, coming on through down the hill. And this is the best spot to recharge the batteries. We talked about drivers being on the medium tires. Let's see just how many drivers are on those medium tires. Over half the field is running the medium tires. You got a few drivers on the hards. Nobody opted in for the softs. And as a budding meteorologist, I can firmly say there is no rain in the air. So nobody running the intermediate or slicks, or intermediates or wets. And Noel, is going to go to retire on lap 3. Got penned for speeding in the pit lane and just decided that tonight was just not going to be their night.
Little Louis Welch now getting within a tenth and a half to the rear of Federico Spiga through the most important corners again on the circuit. Now make our way down the back straight. People I didn't want to mention is further behind towards Bowser going wheel to wheel with Willow, and Bowser gets the move done on the Red Bull around the outside. The Haas will try it. Make your way down the back straight, down in towards the hairpin. We go. Louis Welch as well, getting close to the rear into the hairpin. What do you think of a dive bomb to the inside line? Thinking of it, but down the inside with a defensive move goes Federico Spiga to fend off the onslaught that was soon to come from the Audi driver. We go on to breaking through the hairpin. Tom 97 as well, making the move through the hairpin on the inside of Thomas, but applied our power towards turn 16. The Haas driver will have to back out of it, and Tom 97 from last is up into 8th position, so quite a decent start for the Audi man. Whilst he's doing that, his teammate Louis Welch is making his way through the Snell section, trying to make the move. But on this occasion, it's actually Federico Spiga putting the pressure on even Santa Maria on this occasion, so they apply the power on the exit of turn 2, then make their way towards the hairpin at turn number 6.
Yeah, this is a really tight battle here. These drivers really not giving an inch because you know how racing is, Rio. You give an inch and somebody's going to take a whole mile and several kilometers at that. So you're going to just be stuck if you just really give up at this point. You really just got to keep pushing on here. We'll see what these drivers can go ahead and do. Still following light astern, and oh, that is a bit of a connectivity moment there as, oh, we do have another retirement in the pits. That is Panos retiring in the pit, so that's a Mercedes also out. We have lost 2 Mercedes powered cars, and that's a spin there for Ivan Santa Maria. I think I got tagged there by Louis Welch. Tom has left the session, so we have had some disconnects here. We've had some server problems, and I mean server shenanigans. I mean, that is the unfortunate thing about sim racing. Its biggest downside, as the 2 Astons are going to go ahead and do battle now. Is it going to be Geno and Blode switching positions? Nope, they're not going to switch out positions just yet. Ivan Santa Maria is going to want to try to come back on a recovery charge here. He's not missing any end plates though, so his car is still perfectly in one piece. But too many instances like that, and that's going to really just hurt his race. I think his race is already going to hurt quite a bit as the 2 Aston Martins go battling again. Wheel to wheel, the 2 teammates. They always say that your teammate is your biggest rival, and that is going to be the case here tonight. As Geno gets the move done on the Blode. Blode has a little bit of a snap of oversteer coming through the pinwheel. But so far, these 2 are not giving an inch. But Ivan might be looking to take a mile if these both keep battling like they are right now.
Shadow down Tom 97's car has now dropped down to last in the running order as we go through the hairpin and apply the power at the front of the field. Though Federico Spiga now up into, I say now up, he's in 2nd position trying to chase down Zozo Santa Maria. The pulse this got tagged, which just made him have a massive snap in towards this corner of turn number 13 here, where Federico Spiga being tagged again, this time by Louis Welch. Louis Welch tagging the rear, and that's allowed Zozo to get a 1.4 second lead. And now head down the back straight, head down towards turn number 14, where Louis Welch will be gaining all the while, gaining and gaining, but on this occasion, I think she's going to sit behind. Maybe he knows he was in the wrong. Yellow as well will go through. Yellow will get the position done as well. What about Blode as well? Blode going for the move on the inside line. The Audi goes for a defensive move to the inside, but it's too late because the Aston Martins have pounced. The green machines go on by. Minor wheel hooking on the exit of the corner towards turn 16. Santa Maria as well makes the move on Louis Welch, and Louis Welch drops down from 3rd to 6th position in a matter of meters here.
Yeah, they have had a rough go of things here. And just that 3rd sector, they have dropped from P3 all the way down to P6, and maybe losing another position here. As the Cadillac tries to get a nose, he's going to go ahead and try. He doesn't want to catawhack the Audi out of the way, though, as that might damage his front wing, and that might cause a few issues here on this very technical Shanghai International Circuit. A circuit that used to be used for the World Endurance Championship, MotoGP, and now currently used for Formula 1, obviously, and also Formula E uses a condensed version of this racetrack. Still has the pinwheel, still has the most iconic part of this racetrack. As now we see Geno going ahead and trying to catch up to Federico Spiga. But Spiga is actually somewhat caught up to Zozo in the Mercedes. And oh, you can just see the absolute sea of cars right behind. You know, it's pretty amazing how quick the Aston Martin is when it isn't experiencing cool vibrations. As Ivan Santamaria goes wide again, coming through turn 13. And that has opened the door for Formula Kai in the Cadillac to go ahead and make his way up, trying to American muscle his way up into the top 5.
Yeah, making the move. Such ferocious battling here in towards the hairpin. Once again, Santa Maria and Formula Car on this occasion, going side by side through the hairpin around the outside. Santa Maria will try this, make your way towards turn number 16. Santa Maria, will he give this up? No, he won't. Formula Car on the outside line, wheel to wheel they run. Kai will have to give this one up. Santa Maria gets through into 6th position as we head towards turn number 1. Zosto still got that 1 second lead, but this train behind for 4th position has dropped so far behind. Formula Kai comes back in a turn number 1, but has to bail out of it momentarily as we go up through the hill, up through the gears, down through the gears, side by side behind between Axel and Golm, as then we go through the long and left-hander. Jari Van Halken's retired in the pit lane as well. He's the next one to DNF in this Chinese Grand Prix. On the inside line for Golm as we go towards the hairpin. On the inside, the Alpine will try this. The McLaren not wanting to give this one up, sailing around the outside, the hard tyre against the medium tyre on lap 7 of 28 here, side by side towards the heart of the lap, and the McLaren gets through into 8th position in the race.
The Papaya Machine on a very good charge here, making their way through the field. And now he is lining up Formula Kai in the Cadillac. Speaking of moving up through positions, let's see who's moved up the most positions here on the day. It is Alarms, or is it Alarms? It is Alarms who's moved up the most positions, tied with Cart. Both drivers up 8 positions respectively. And Robin Lagenbush is down 9 positions from where he started. So not the greatest of times for the Red Bull, but it's still early stages in the race. We could see some comebacks here as Ivan Santamaria is going to get passed up here. And as Louis Welch is trying to make a bit of a recovery drive, he's in P4 now in the Audi. And he is going to try to close into the back of Geno, but he's going to have a huge line of threats just right behind him. And, I mean, you can just see, I mean, you'll definitely see it coming through the pinwheel that this is a very, very technical sector, and you can just see the absolute conquer line. And I don't think the McLaren of Axel and Formula Kai did make contact, and a little bit of drama happening here. This is exactly what you love to see. You love to see good, hard-fought racing. These guys are fighting it out like Prime Muhammad Ali versus Prime Mike Tyson, as Marvin Golm does shake for a move. The Cadillac goes wide, and that is going to be Cart dropping down a few spots. And boy, oh boy, he is sending that thing around. And I think he might have just got catawhacked there off the road.
I think it might have. It was a dive bomb from the inside by Casper and the Williams. I think a little bit audacious to go off the road, a little bit audacious to make the dive bomb move. Nonetheless, they have swapped positions, but at the front of the field, 1.3 seconds is that gap. It did come down momentarily to 1.0, a little bit deep from Louis Welch as they make their way through turns 12 and 13, further behind. Tom 97 making the move on Langenbush's disconnected car. Tom 97 is back in the session, thankfully, so he'll be able to try and hurry on to get back to where he wants to be, towards the front of the field for the 2 podium positions, though. Federico Spiga and Jeno getting close, but on this occasion, not close enough as they applied the power on the exit of the hairpin. Further behind, Formula Kai within 0.2 of a second. Then we have Salvo Meadow going wheel to wheel with Car, and Meadow gets through into 11th position there, back ahead of Car Meadow, who started up in 5th position. As for the podium positions, Yellow goes all the way around the outside line of the Mercedes with a bold, a brave, a brilliant move by the Aston Martin driver. And from P8 on the grid, he's up into 2nd, and can he now go hunting to chase after FSD Zozo?
That is a fantastic question, Rio, and one I think we'll get our answer to sooner rather than later. I think this is going to be a beautiful scrap between these drivers here as Yeno tries to reel him in. But even though one of the greatest sayings in motorsport, it's one thing to catch, another thing to pass. And even if he does catch Zozo, Zozo does seem to have that Alpine dialed in here. So, I mean, ever since the opening stage, we thought Zozo was going to take pole before Salva Olmedo took that fantastic pole lap. But it's been a tough start for the V-Carb. Not so much for the Alpine. The Alpine has been doing really, really well here in the opening stages of this race. And Federico speaking now within a second of Yeno. Gonna try to go ahead and push here. We'll see how these drivers go ahead and just push. Won't be able to make the overtake on this lap, a bit too far back. Even the most Daniel Ricciardo-esque of dives will not go ahead and get that move done, unfortunately. But it is so far so good. A very good event. And oh, we are starting to see pit stops happening here as Federico Spiga goes for the undercut.
Oh, Axel's around. Axel with the final corner. Goodness gracious me. Almost a collision, I believe, with Formula Kai. And after he got past Formula Kai, the rear of the McLaren just completely spat around. Such a high speed at the final corner. And Axel's chances of points have just been dashed in an instant. So, Axel's got to work his way back up now. But I have no idea what happened there. Early pit stop from Federico Spiga, from Formula Kai, from Blode. That is your your only three drivers so far who have made their scheduled pit stops. Unfortunately for the likes of Tom 97 and Axel now, they're so close to the drivers who have pitted here. Federico Spiga's got a 6.3 advantage over Blode and Formula Kai as Tom 97 gets past Axel. Axel's just letting drivers through now as they make their way towards the hairpin, towards the front of the field, though. Yellow's putting in the work. Yellow within a second now of FSD Zozos. They make their way through turns 12 and turns number 13 through the long aging right-hander. Yellow putting in a shift here to get back over the DRS Zozo as we head down towards turn number 14. Further behind, Cart and Alarms running wheel to wheel. And Cart gets the move done on the Ferrari on the hard compound tyres. A brilliant move by the Cadillac driver. But does this now open the chance for Alarms to come back at him into the hairpin? Down the back straight we go. The slipstream will always be offered to the Cadillac. The Ferrari is gaining and gaining and gaining in that slipstream. Feels he has to get this done because the hard tyres are going to be that much better than the mediums. Diving on the inside goes the Ferrari side by side. The outside line will favour the Cadillac for momentum, but the Ferrari gets through into the position. Position change as well as Zozo. Oh my grace! Oh my word! Cadillac wanted to pit the pit lane. That's surely a steward's report. Such a dangerous pit entry by the Cadillac. It almost took off Alarm's front wing. I mean, granted, I'm not a steward by any chance, and I have no desire to be one. Stewards, they have a fantastic job, although it's not one I particularly envy. I prefer being here in the commentary booth, but that one almost looked like a racing incident. I think it was just a classic case of just miscommunication. As Axel, his day just goes from bad to worse, but he retires in the pit, so his day will come to an end on lap 11. I think that was just a bit of miscommunication, honestly, between the Cadillac and the Ferrari. Just in a really awkward position, because, I mean, it's a really odd angle for a pit lane here at Shanghai, because if you want to go into pits, it's almost like Canada, actually, with a similar pit lane. Ooh, what sorry to butt in. Louis Butch and Formula Guy side by side through turn number 6. The outside line favouring the Cadillac man, and he gets past Louis Welch in the Audi. The two new teams going to battle here in Formula 1 in PSGL, PCF5, and Formula Kai comes out ahead of Louis Welch. Luckily for Louis, he's got the 1 lap fresher tyres, and in China, that is going to be so much better. In terms of your tyres, then, the drivers who are yet to box in this race, Robin Langenbush down in P18, and then you have Tom 97 in P9 on 10 lap old hard tyres, along with Muta Haidari in P6 on teleport hard tyres. Is it Alarm, Salvador, Meadow, and Casper in P1, 3, 4? As further ahead, Yellow and top 97 swap around. Yellow gets through into the top 9, further behind Formula Kai, making the move to get into 11th position. Wheel to wheel was blown as they apply the brakes. Formula Kai gets through into the pit lane, comes even Santa Maria, who's done 11 laps on that medium compound tyre. The only drivers yet to pit off their medium compound tyres now is Giovanni Baruzza in P4 and Robin Langenbush in P18. In terms of the hard tyres who are yet to pit, top 97 and 9th, Muta Haidari in P5, is it Alums in P3, Salvador Meadow in P2, and then Casper in P1. The rest of the field has boxed for a new set of hard tyres. Speaking of position changes, through goes Alarms in the Ferrari to get up into second position with the lovely dive bomb move on the inside of Salvador Meadow.
Yeah, that was a good lunge there, and that's just kind of one of the essences of racing is that racing drivers, they're not exactly known for their patience, but their patience can be a virtue that can gain them some pretty hefty points. Granted, they are some of the 5 drivers who have yet to pit in the top 5, but what has happened here? Federico Spiga now getting a move done. Onto Muta Haidari and Zozo making his way on through. Zozo pitted in. Federico Spiga actually got him on the overcut, or sorry, on the undercut, as we see here, as Yeno gets a move done onto the McLaren as well. So lots of positional changes happening here. It's new tires versus older tires. A tale as old as time itself. As they go through, some of the medium runners are going to try to get more laps out of their tires before making the switch to the hard compound for ideally the rest of the Grand Prix. You want to try to make this a one-stop if you can. The less time you spend in the pits, the better, as the old saying goes. As we go through, and Giovanni Baruzza going to make his way into the pits. And we're going to see now Yeno trying to reel in Zozo. This is a battle that was happening a bit earlier on, as Yeno's had some immaculate pace here today. Marvin Golm will go ahead and show that his pace is not to be denied with a 1:34.211 new fastest lap of the Grand Prix here so far. It's been a beautiful battle here in Shanghai. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Let's stick around because we are far from over here. As we see Zozo trying to get one onto Federico Spiga, who is on those 1 lap older tires. That tire differential doesn't mean much now, but as this race goes on, as this stint goes deeper and deeper into its timeline, that difference is really going to ramp up as the race does go on. Zozo, meanwhile, still trying to close in, and Axel has left, but he already DNF'd, so that should be of... I mean, it's unfortunate that he DNF'd, but it won't cause any AI driver shenanigans. I mean, we all know that AI stands for Artificial Intelligence, but Rio, we both know that the AI in this game kind of misses that intelligence part.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, luckily the AI won't affect this race as of yet anyway. We go through the hairpin at turn 14. Federico Spiga, your net top 3 then. Federico Spiga, Zozo and Yeno running 1, 2 and 3. It's game on at the front of the field. The undercut has worked for Salvador Meadow. Blode and Louis Welch running wheel to wheel. The Audi and the Aston Martin running side by side, and the Audi gets through in the 10th position. Formula Kai at the head of this little battle as we head down towards turn number 1. Louis Welch should be gaining in this section, gaining, looking to the outside line. Running wheel to wheel was the Cadillac driver. Neither will want to yield. Sailing, prancing all the way around the outside line with a phenomenal gripping move. Louis Welch gets through the 9th position. Up next for him will be Muta Haidari in the McLaren, who is one of 5 drivers yet to box in this Chinese Grand Prix from the hard tyre. Obviously, Robin Langenbush down in P18. Obviously, as I say that, he now peels into the pit lane. Obviously, he's disconnected, doesn't want to rejoin because he's too far back. And now we make our way towards the end of the middle sector. Federico Spiga is starting to stretch his advantage momentarily to around 0.7 of a second. Ahead of FST, Zozo and Yeno. We apply the power, head down towards turn number 13, where you could, number 12, sorry. You can see Salvador Meadow up ahead. The driver's doing the hard medium, sorry. Louis Welch gets to move down and move to Haidari. Formula Kai will probably think of a dive bomb on the inside, which he does. On the inside goes the Cadillac driver, getting the move done. Yeno as well will look around the outside. Blode, will look around the outside and make the move on the McLaren as well. And the McLaren spins on the exit of the corner. The McLaren with a spin, and the race and the strategy goes from bad to worse. Haidari goes down into 14th position, make that 15th as Willow will surely sail on by in a couple moments' time as we make our way to the hairpin. No, not on this occasion, will not be close enough, but surely we'll get past them in a couple moments' time. We go under breaking through the hairpin, and the battle here, Tom 97 and Louis Welch close together. Tom 97 will wave on Louis Welch by, but now will we see the team gains from the Audi team here to have Tom 97 maybe back up Formula Kai and Blode and Santa Maria, just so that Louis Welch on the younger tyres in comparison to Formula Kai and Blode, just hopefully that he is able to build up a gap in comparison to them, just so he can easily settle into the position he's going to get. Tom 97, will he defend this? Seems like he is going to defend this one, using his battery as we go into the hairpin. Formula Kai will look for the inside line, unsure which way to go. Kai will look around the outside, turns in a bit early, minor contact between tyre and sideboard. Formula Kai sails on by. Blode will get the inside line into the long left-hander. Side by side between Aston Martin and Audi. The Aston Martin gets the move done as well. Tom 97 wants to continue to fight this on the inside line. Santa Maria up next will think of a move on the inside line on this occasion. Not close enough as we apply the power for the double left-hander towards turn number 12. Santa Maria will probably try and make the move now. We'll look for the inside line. We'll probably go late on the brakes, thinking of the move. Diving on the inside line. Tom 97 leaves the room. Deep goes the Aston Martin of Blode as well. Santa Maria will try and set up the up and under through turn number 13. Down towards turn 14 we go. And on the inside, Santa Maria gets the move for the podium positions, though. Federico Spiga gets ahead of Salvador and Meadow. Surely Zozo as well want to get involved as well. They go under breaking through turn 14. Deep goes the Racing Bulls. Through goes Yeno. And through goes Yeno and Zozo in the Alpine and the Aston Martin. Salvador and Meadow as well. Down into 6th position. Off the road goes Federico Spiga with a little bit of a moment.
Yeah, that was a very, very, very late send for Salva Olmedo. Did go a bit deep there. I mean, it happens. It's very easy. You do carry so much speed, and that's a snap for Federico Spiga, having a bit of a spin in the Mercedes. And oh, he is fighting the rear of that Mercedes. The car does not look planted in the slightest right now. So that little bit of, oh, he locks up as well. This is going to give the opportunity to Zozo, but Zozo doesn't take it. You know what? I mean, I know it sounds weird to not take every opportunity that presents itself, but sometimes you really don't need to. You can just go ahead and just wait, and then an even better opportunity goes through, because that would have been a risky send there for Ivan Santamaria. Or, sorry, not Ivan Santamaria. I was looking at the wrong name. Zozo going to try to get the move there. And it would have been risky, but sometimes not every risk is worth the reward. I mean, racing is a high-risk, high-reward sport for a reason, even in the sim racing realm. As Zozo does try to close in now. He's got a good amount of overspeed. He will get the slipstream from the Merc up ahead. Gonna just use a little bit of the battery, not gonna go ahead and send it into boost mode. He's gonna go and try to recover, but another small lockup from Federico Spiga. And he is starting to crack under pressure, maybe. Or maybe he's doing it a bit deliberately. Although, I don't think locking up your tires gets your battery full any faster. At least it hasn't in my experience. But he's got to be real careful, because one lockup, and I mean, we've seen lockups here today that have cost multiple positions for drivers. So this is going to be a very crucial one. They say diamonds are formed under pressure, but so are mistakes. So can Federico Spiga hold on and try to resist the pressure? We're just going to have to find out. Zozo now looking. He's trying to look, but he might even have to start looking in his mirrors, because Yeno is looking very quick. And Aston Martin, he's looked quick all day. They're going to go ahead and continue to reel him on in, as Yeno tries to just reel him in, but there's still a little over 10 laps to go here in this Chinese Grand Prix.
Oh, blow the Formula Kai, sorry to butt in though for P8 in this race. Formula Kai still going to wheel whiz Blode as they apply the power for the double left-hander. So close to contact. It's literally inch perfection between the Cadillac and the Aston Martin driver. We go on to break in the Racing Bulls will think of the climb on the inside line. Oh my word, round. Half spin from the Aston Martin. Santa Maria now has the outside line. Might get shoved off the circuit. Apply the power through turn 13 down towards turn 14. We go. Minor contact between the Racing Bulls and the Aston Martin. Head down towards turn 14. We go to the inside line. Goes even Santa Maria, the pole sitter, trying to get back all this time that he's lost. Surely now the move will be made for the pole sitter. Diving through on the inside line, and Santa Maria gets through into 9th position. They'll be 7th position soon because 1-2 in this race has finally pitted from their hard compound tyre. So Federico Spiga leads from
Ooh.
FSD Zoda, then yellow. Louis Welch as well now in 4th position. Output Formula Kai up into 5th position here. From behind they fight, they have settled down. Have the likes of Blode and Santa Maria. Blode has come to worse, losing the position to Santa Maria as we head through turn 1, turn 2, through turn 3, towards turn 4, 5, and 6. It is now Federico Spiga who lead from FSD Zoda and then yellow. That's your new top 3 and the fight for the win of the Chinese Grand Prix.
And what a fight it has been. I mean, I feel like we've seen an entire Grand Prix, an entire almost 52-lap Grand Prix of action here. But no, it's only been lap 18. This just shows you the absolute high caliber of competition here at PSGL F5. And this is going to be a fantastic season. We're already seeing the seeds of awesome racing being planted here. And this is going to be a good scrap between these drivers here. A bit further into the midfield, it is going to be Ivan Santa Maria trying to go ahead and sneak his way into the top 5. And then as we look at a driver trying to overtake a Cadillac versus a Cadillac trying to do the overtaking, Cart, who has made up a massive amount of positions. We'll bring that up real quick. Cart is up 9 positions, with Willow actually making up 10 positions. But then there's Ivan Santa Maria trying to maybe get something done on the Formula Kai. Not yet. Nothing just yet. He's going to go ahead and just keep that position for now. But look at this. You can just hear that Red Bull 4 powertrain's V6 turbo hybrid just screaming down, coming into the first corner, the famous pinwheel. And I mean, it may also have the nickname of the snail corner, but these cars are definitely not going slow through here. It may seem slow compared to their speeds, but they are easily hitting well over 150 kilometers coming through that corner. So they are absolutely just pushing these brand new regulations to their limits and beyond. And we're seeing some absolutely beautiful scraps down here. Casper makes a move on the cart. Can the move stick though? And this is a 3-way fight for the lower reaches of the points. As Casper tries, he's going to get shuffled wide. But outside becomes the inside, and he's just going to go ahead and move on through. Trying to get one onto Willow as well. And Casper up 7 positions. He's going to do what he can to will his way on by. And he's going to chase Willow down for position. 10 laps to go here in the Grand Prix. Oh, those medium tires are really kicking in. Willow has a bit of a snap of oversteer. Look how tight they are. You can barely even fit a can of Red Bull in between these two drivers. As a drag race down, and where there's a will, there's a way. In this case for the Williams, up at a P9 for Casper.
Yeah, give it Casper just a lovely move as well in sector 2 on cars, just sailing all the way around the outside line. Next up will be, speaking of him, it will be Car up next to try and make this move on Willow. Through the final corner we go, towards turn number 1 we go. Federico Spiga was getting dangerously close to breaking that 1 second window as we head in towards turn number 1. Cart looking for the move, but this game will not be close enough. The top 3 have been evenly spread really as they make their way in towards the end of the first sector. Salvador Meadow, fastest lap of this race of 33.625. Even Santa Maria getting close to the rear of Formula Cars to go on the braking through the hairpin. And that hold-up play that Tom 97 has done, it has actually worked quite well. Louis Welch breaking away as even Santa Maria thought of the move on the inside at turn number 7. It would have been brave if we went for it. Maybe could he think of a type of move in towards turn number 9, turn number 10, then towards turn 11 and 12 we go. Santa Maria will put him in under pressure all the while to go on the brake and just trying to show himself with Formula Kai's mirrors. Through the left, through the right, and then apply the power. We head down the back straight we go. That gap is almost a second out in front as well. Is it Alarms gets the move done on Willow as well? The Ferrari from 21st moves up into 10th position with a lovely drive so far. Santa Maria gaining on the rear of Formula Kai, pulling to the inside line, and Santa Maria, who will be looking to get back into the top 5 of the starting on pole position, diving on the inside line. We run wheel to wheel. The outside line for Formula Kai, the inside of Santa Maria. The inside would then be there for Formula Kai. Wheel banging as we going towards turn 16. Formula Kai will have to back out of it, then head down towards turn number 1. Off the road goes Formula Kai, and now this can put him onto the clutches of blows as we head in towards turn number 1. Formula Kai getting close once again, looking for the outside line, looking to sail and dance past the racing bulls. Van Dijk trying to switch back, trying to find the inside line for turn 2, but on this occasion will not be close enough, and that mistake might have cost him that move on the exit of the final corner. Now you can see the alternate lines trying to there to try to be taken. Marvin Golm as well, trying to make this move. A top 97 since the fastest lap of this race, a 1:33.535. The Aston Martin of blows, looking for a move on the inside of Kai as we head through to turn 6. They're also line and stern on this occasion, well behaved after that mistake from Formula Kai at turn 16.
I mean, is there anywhere where moves aren't happening, Rio? I mean, this has just been a beautiful battle, a beautiful race here. Easily, probably, I mean, Shanghai is one of my favorite tracks for this reason. It's a very technical circuit. It's very fun to drive, especially in these cars. I feel like these cars actually handle this better than the previous gen of Formula 1 cars. And it's always a good time here because for this reason, you see everybody fighting tooth and nail for every position as Formula Kai. Oh, you can see that Formula Kai has put the hand up. He's thinking, all right, Alpine, come on now. As they are fighting, but that's just how racing is. The age-old NASCAR phrase that does somewhat apply here is rubber is racing! And they're going to get so close here as Casper is going to continue to push on, but it is going to be Marvin Golm trying to go ahead, and Casper might actually benefit if these guys keep battling each other like this. This is some good, just good hard racing, and this is what you love to see here. As these drivers go through, Marvin Golm trying to go ahead and reel him on in. Trying to bring in the Cadillac of Formula Kai. Formula Kai still holding on as he's trying to chase Blode, who in turn is chasing Ivan Santamaria. Then there's a 5-second gap to Louis Welch, who's just kind of in his own zip code at the moment. And look at this, here comes a move from the Williams, and there's contact and a spin. Marvin Golm has just gone tipped around. And that one is definitely going to go to the stewards. Forrester and Casper making a audacious lunge to the inside. And just, I mean, I know I said earlier where there's a will, there's a way. But that's a one-way ticket straight to the steward's office for certain. As Federico Spiga's at the moment. Federico Spiga has spun from the lead. And, oh, did he? Am I seeing things or did he teleport? I think he might have just teleported and he's dropped out of the podium spots.
Wow, well, the race leader from the lead down to 4th, but now it's basically Geno versus Zozo for the lead of the Grand Prix, as Geno locks up his brace, almost runs to the back of FSD Zozo. It's now a 2-horse fight for the win here in the Chinese Grand Prix. Formula Car on the inside of Blode gets the move done. The Aston Martin trying the up and under as we head towards turn 16. For the lead of the Grand Prix, gets to within 2.5 tenths of a second. As we go on the braking through the first corner, they are not close enough. Off the road goes the Aston Martin. Through goes Casper in the Williams. Through goes Alarms as well. And these two have got the youngest medium tires of the field. They're making the move. Casper as well. Santa Maria's disconnected from the session. A lot of lag happening at this current moment in time. Yellow's gone as well.
Oh no, and oh, the Williams. Okay, there's a lot of drivers actually getting disconnected here. So I'm starting to wonder if there's some server side crashes happening here, because Formula Kai has also left. So here within the last like 5.5 laps of the race, everybody's getting disconnected here. Federico Spiga is disconnecting. Oh my, I wonder. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here, but we'll continue to bring you the action as we see it. As we're going to go ahead and just see how this battle is going to go ahead and go. And up, we have migrated hosts. So I think I've actually also just been dropped from the session. So.
Oh my word.
Okay, so, well, that tends to happen, everybody. We're going to go ahead and just bring it back to our lovely faces. Just for a quick minor debrief. So, but man, I mean, Rio. What a race that was looking like so far. I mean, there's battles left, right, and center. Drama everywhere you looked, but it's a shame that it's really just kind of come down like this.
Yeah, it's unfair. I mean, we had such a good race again, but it seems to be similar to last week where the lobbies just died again. I mean, it's unfortunate. That's 2 weeks in a row now. We've had such a good race building up towards the end of the Grand Prix. We had drivers fighting for the lead, and then it's gone in an instant. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens again with the discussions. Yeah, I've been asked to get results.
Yeah, that is a heartbreaking end to the race. And I mean, hopefully it's not the end. You know what I want to see, right? And this may sound like lunacy coming from somebody who's only done one other previous PSGL race. And I mean, even though I'm from Florida, yeah, good old Sunshine State, most of my commentary previously did come from Australia. And sometimes what we do in some of the OCE leagues is we just do something incredibly random, right? We go ahead and do a one-shot quali and then a flapper to go ahead and solve out the last 5 laps of the race. So, is that something that maybe we can do? I don't know. I'm not race control, but I think it could be a fun one. But then again, my opinion sitting here in the commentary booth versus what the drivers are feeling in the paddock often are kind of two different things here.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. We have to see what happens. I mean, we were on that 22 and 28, so there could be the argument if we get half points. I'm unsure what just happens now. I mean, we have to wait to see what is said. But nonetheless, there's so many positives. That was such an exciting Grand Prix. That's safe to say. It's unfortunate because yeah, we had the same issue last week. We decided to stick with the same host, and I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, but I mean, it's you gamble, it's a 50-50 chance of winning.
Yeah, I mean, that's always kind of how it just goes, isn't it? I mean, it's a lottery. It always is, you know. I mean, servers just tend to do things. I mean, sometimes I've had races where there's been an update mid-race and the whole lobby gets disconnected for hours at a time. Things just kind of happen, and the best thing that we can do is just roll with it. And so far, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think we were going to have a really good battle right there at the end, and it's such a shame that it kind of got ripped away from us. But, I mean, what can you do? It happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's the second time. It's the second time for F5 where it's happened. So, yeah, I mean, I mean, Krypton's now in the chat, so let's see what happens.
I mean, you know the old saying, you know, third time's a charm, right? Third time's a charm. Surely, when we go next week, it's not going to happen. Speaking of next week, let's take a look at the calendar, shall we? As we go ahead and just kind of... So, the first round in Great Britain is going to get moved to the break week, so it'll be after Belgium. So, we had the Spa-Francorchamps next, and then Silverstone. And then we head to uncharted territory. We're heading to the Madrid circuit, the Madrid. And then we go to the Red Bull Ring, and then Imola. And then we go to Viva Las Vegas, Mexico, Interlagos, the Sakir International Circuit. And then good old Yeehaw, Texas, to round out the season. So, Rio, while we wait for a confirmation, to wait and see, before we go to a very quick intermission, which of these tracks are you the most excited for? Because for me, it's got to be Madrid and Texas.
Oh, well, they're all going to be exciting. I mean, like, in terms of like how it's going to be exciting, you can see like different the battery deployment. It will be for me like Britain, Vegas, Belgium, Austria, Bahrain. There's so many circuits. If I had to choose one, I would probably say Spa. Probably because that is probably my favourite circuit to commentate. Because you've got the Source, you've got Lake of Chicane, you've got Bruxelles Cornier, Banya Chicane, Stavelot, Blanchimont, Bus Stop Chicane. Yes, so many places to overtake in Spa. That's probably the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good races that are coming up. And we're going to go ahead and throw a quick intermission. And then we'll try to bring you guys some news as soon as possible. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately we will not be getting restarted. The results will be taken from the end of lap 22. And unfortunately that is a early end to our trip here in Shanghai. But what a fun one it has been, Rio.
Yeah, we had a phenomenal race ongoing there. I mean, it's unfortunate the way it's ended, but nonetheless, there's many positives. That was a phenomenal race. I believe FSC Zozo is your race winner then, after all of that.
Yeah, so congratulations to Zozo for winning. It was a very good drive, honestly. I mean, he didn't really put a foot wrong. He could have really dominated qualifying as well, but I mean, you know, the big points are in the race, and he got those big points. Full points are going to be awarded from my understanding. So, yeah, that's going to go ahead and wrap things up. Rio, any final thoughts before we let this one ride off into the sunset?
Hopefully it doesn't happen again next week.
Oh, yeah, you and me both, man.
F5's had 2 races, and they've both been cut short.
I mean, third time's a charm, right? Third time's a charm. I mean, come on, we need a relaxing spa day in Belgium next week, so, you know, we need a good time. But that is officially going to go ahead and wrap us up here for PCF5 here at PSGL. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Go ahead and follow us on all the socials listed up here. And Rio, since we're here, do you want to go ahead and plug your socials while we're here?
Just Rio Harris F1 on everything mainly. That's what it is. It's not just that in like Twitch, TikTok, the other, and it should come up.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out every time I post it once in a blue moon, it is rekkas.gg, rekkas.gg. And yeah, that's gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning on in. Be sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of the PSGL action across any division. Because honestly, we have a absolutely banging season coming up next. On behalf of Rio, my name's been Patrick Coleman. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay hydrated, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.